Yo, here we are. You guys hear that? Those are my notes of the next 5 episodes of the 31 Days of Dread. Yeah, we're doing the Omen 4, The Awakening, and yeah, let's just hit that music because we gotta talk. That's a record button. That's not the play button. Know your buttons, people. Know what buttons to push. Okay, I just gotta say right now, I wish everyone could. This is why you follow me on social media. I just wish you could see what I see right now because it is the most amazing orange glow sunrise. My entire place, my entire loft, studio loft, apartment, living quarters, quadrant, whatever you want to call it, is just orange and it is just beautiful. And bonus points to anyone living in Center City facing the Ben Franklin Bridge right now because, because thumbs up, we definitely have an amazing sunrise right now. But yeah, so we're talking more. The 31 Days of Dread is one of the most taxing things I have ever done. I'm doing 31 Days of Dread and Inktober back to back, and I never drew this much daily ever. I think, and I say ever, I mean back to like recent memory. Definitely like a 20. It's solid. Not 20, maybe like 13, 12, 13 hiatus on drawing regularly. Okay, the Inktober has created the stress for me just to sit down and grind out something like just to put something on paper, and it's just progressing. each each post for Inktober is getting more and more like sophisticated. There's more ink wash. There's bigger illustrations, bigger ideas being portrayed, and you can just find all of that on AKAPAD 13 on Instagram. Go there and check it out. But so what we're dealing with, what I'm dealing with the 31 Days of Dread, is nothing but stress. The just the what the stress does and how I've been forced to respond to it is just oh my god, it's a woo, it's tough. I have like forced more of a schedule for myself. Now everything is dictated through Google Calendar. I was like this years ago, and then I got into a relationship and got stupid and lazy. But during the course of this relationship, that's how like her and I, the ex, that's we were very congruent in sharing calendar, making events, and organizing things and pulling everyone in around it. And we lived like 40 minutes from one another, and we for the first few years of our relationship, we did a lot because of that. Okay, like it just organizes you in such a clear way. So yeah, I drifted away, and there was almost like a non-need for it because you're in a relationship with someone and your life slows down. It coagulates. It solidifies. It becomes gelatin. It's sluggish, and boom, like single Peter. 2 years later, roughly 2 years, I think. I don't even know how long I've been single, to be honest. But anyway, time goes by, and now this need emerges, and the 31 Days of Dread is just was the driving force behind it, because coordinating with everyone else that's involved with Dream Warriors, so a lot the other guests within Dream Warriors, I do other things with comics, movie scripts, websites, Facebook marketing, so on and so forth, and Dream Warriors is just a way for us to kind of do everything together, and because we always talk geek, to record it, then that's like really the birth of Dream Warriors. So the 31 days of dread is was has been so stressful for me. It created new patterns, like better pathways, quick, to the point. No less BS, less BS. and I'm able to even do this and do Inktober, even though like I'm relatively a week behind on both. But it doesn't matter because what has come of it is already more valuable to me than staying on top of the 31 Days of Dread, which I'm hoping very soon to be caught up on because we're just doing runs here. Runs of episodes. They're shelf episodes, and I keep listening to the shelf episodes, and I just don't like it because the regular conversation just isn't there. So I'm going back and redoing shelf episodes, and it just sucks. It just really does. But we're doing the Omen right now. This is good because we're in day 14 of the 31 Days of Dread, and I like the how this is complementary to our previous one, day 13, which was Jason X, Uber Jason, because it's the continuation of a franchise, and this is also, as Jason X was, a franchise killer, pun intended. So this was the Batman and Robin of the Omen series, and Omen, the first movie, I believe, came out in 1973. Can we verify that? 1976. Directed by Richard Donner, who gave us Lethal Weapon, the first two Superman movies, the Christopher Reeve ones, and he is one of the all-time great film directors. Also, one of the producing partners behind the X-Men franchise. He's unstoppable. Okay, awesome. So he makes the Omen. The Omen movie, which is a devil demon child, takes everything over. The movie is so well made. I think that it cost 2.8 million. Box office wise, it made 60. And you just might be like, well, like, whoa, like, was I even? Well, okay, so with inflation, okay, that's $255 million. That's the first Omen movie in 1976. So okay, so let's just do that again. All right, we'll just say 3 million. You spend 3 million, and you make 255 million. So when it comes to filmmaking and studios and a business, this is the draw. This is the definition of money, like of the business. You have to go into horror because the turnaround, the turnarounds are usually short. The margins are amazing, and you can build a whole studio off of one successful horror movie. We saw this with Halloween. We saw it with the house that Freddy built, New Line Cinema, Nightmare on Elm Street. Even like the Annabelle movies, the Paranormal Activity movies, entire studios within studios have emerged through this, and like that's more of a real conversation. That's a Dream Warriors level conversation of the amazing benefits of horror movies, the windfall that horror movies create for the rest of the films involved with that studio. Because you have extra money and you can experiment. And we experiment, we get Taxi Driver. We experiment, we get Fight Club. We experiment, we get Sixth Sense. We experiment, we get The Matrix. It goes on and on and on. Okay, so these people who like to sit on their high horse and say horror isn't what it used to be or how to fix horror, those are weak, bad, platitude-driven conversations, sloppy thinking, low-hanging fruit. It goes on and on and on. The way we define that. But yeah, so the Omen, the Awakening, good old Omen 4. Yeah, I'm not even sure where to begin with this one. But you know what? This sunrise that I was loving earlier now has already moved into the frame of one of my windows, and I'm gonna have to close the curtains because I'm being blinded right now. So give me 1 second. I'll say hello to Dallas for you on the way back because he's crashed out on the bed. And hey, if sometimes if you follow me on Instagram, you can see Dallas. Dallas also has his own IG, Diamond Dallas Cat, at Diamond Dallas Cat on IG. Go look him up. I'm going to be right back. So And you know what? Yeah, I'm going to stop. Here you go. Okay, yeah, we're back. We're back. Yes. Speaking of Dallas, I just really wish you guys could see him because he is just getting hit by the sun just by a little bit, and he's so in the moment on the bed right now that his you could probably just feel him, and he's going to be hot. He's going to be warm, but the sun's just hitting him like just right, and he's so in the moment. Yeah, and just so everyone knows, I live in a studio loft, so it's no walls. It's completely wide open. And yeah, like I just remember watching a lot of '80s movies growing up. Because a product of the '80s. Even though I mostly consider myself a '90s kid, because to me that's what the real influential things that I hold on to now. Are from the '90s. Music, television, movies, so on and so forth. Michael Crichton books, '90s. Okay, even books. But yeah, but yeah, so you can kind of see everything at all times, but it's just fun. But yeah, so the Omen, the Awakening, yeah, another kind of franchise buster. The Omen movies overall, with inflation, have we only really have four box office movies, because the Omen for the Awakening was a TV movie. Not even sure when it aired, how it aired, or what. I'm sure I can read off the wiki. Made for television horror movie that serves as the fourth and final addition to the original Omen series. No, including the first of many television sequels by 20th Century Fox. So I think this kind of led into a Omen TV show that was lasted one season. Original release was 1991. Okay, so it's a 1991 movie that broke a 1976 franchise. So the Omen, the original one, two, and three, really, like awesome story, really cool idea. Uh, like it's a trilogy that is definitely overlooked, and the whole arc is we mostly have a demon a devil kid that ascends to high power politically in the U.S. Okay, and I just wanted to look something up also real quick. The hold up here. I am okay. Yeah, so the Omen. I don't know why I didn't look this up before, but the Omen is a little bit of, I think, Hollywood's fascination in the '70s over satanic driven horror. It's satanic horror is mostly psychological. It's mostly thriller driven. It definitely has blood and all these other things, and the Omen's one of the best. And I'm not even sure if this is. I'm sure we went back and got enough documentary footage and interviews on Rosemary's Baby and The Omen and a few others. Those being your two highlights when it comes to occult devil horror movies. I think it all stems back from Hollywood's fascination with the 1969 Manson family murders, and that hit the cultural radar. It became part of the lexicon, became part of the regular conversation. The Manson murders were very well known, and Hollywood, as cannibalistic as it is, as we're seeing with the Harvey Weinstein stuff, capitalized on it 100%. And I don't know, like there's a reason why it kind of never came back outside of House of the Devil movie. You guys everyone should go watch that movie. So why do we watch franchise killing movies? What do we even care? What do we even care of a movie relatively from the '90s that connects all the way back to a movie from 1976? Trilogy like the latest Omen movie, The Final Conflict, Omen 3, which Sam Neill from Jurassic Park fame was Damien in that. That ended in 1981. So we have 76, 78, 81, and the remake, and that came out in 666. It came out in '06 with Liev Schreiber, good old Ray Donovan. Which that was not a terrible movie. So this made-for-TV movie definitely intended to have longer legs to start a kind of like an Omen TV empire franchise. You gotta remember too, the people that make these things, they're mostly all it's mostly all with intent, as of having a career forwarding yourself. So nobody ever sits down and says, "Look, let's trick people, make a bad movie." They say, "Hey, let's do an Omen TV movie. We're able to do it, and let's bleed that into a TV series and really do some interesting things. And this is how and then again to storytelling and how to explain things. And they wanted to connect it to the first three and stuff like that. And there's a whole explanation of Damien and all these like a sister, like a thing. I don't even know. Can't even follow the explanation. Not that it really matters. But yeah, but no, the the overall intent of this movie is just to, like give people jobs so they can pay their bills in Hollywood and continue to work. But yeah, so we want to know where we want to know why things fade away. It's not no so I don't believe there's such a thing as a franchise fatigue. I think that's thrown around a lot. It's definitely an easy explanation for things. No, would Batman? We talked about this with Jason X. Would Batman and Robin, if that was good, even in that tone that movie was, a intended children's movie, that was like a kick butt children's superhero movie that was largely successful. It would have continued. We would have saw Batman Triumphant, which was the intended fifth sequel from the Tim Burton thread. Would if Alien Resurrection did it, would we have seen more soon? Yes. If Predator 2 did it, would we have seen more? Yes. If Jason X did it, so on and so forth. But it's interesting when we see it break because it helps us understand the value of the original, any of the sequels between the two, or spin offs or whatever, like any continuation of the bookends. And I just think it heightens a little bit more of the understanding because you learn if you really want to know film structure and identify what works and what doesn't work, and some of this is subconscious, like subconsciously something isn't clicking, and that's part of the analysis is what happens subconsciously because within like a 2 hour sit down, a 90-minute sit down, sometimes even longer, like 3 hours, a lot happens, and it's hard to identify exactly what's happening to you as you're watching. So, and that's one-on-one. Now, when it comes to the larger audience standpoint, that's where we get this very like dumb platitude of a thing like franchise fatigue. Franchise fatigue really does not exist at all. Okay, what exists is poor quality. Not hitting the mark and it not connecting. That does exist. That exists in restaurants, food carts. I go to 7-Eleven, I buy a bag of chips. They suck. I'm not buying it again. Okay, we know. We've seen this. It works in every industry all the time. Does that mean that the best things always resonate? No, but it's identified, it's understood, and the best things are even when they disappear are studied. Okay, 3D Doritos. I'm looking at you. So this movie definitely goes through all the Omen, the Omen stereotypes, the Omen tropes, the Omen, the demon child, like internal clicks of a story like this. The highlights, the check boxes. This goes through them all. We have a barking crazy dog. We have the girl giving evil stares. This movie kind of comes off and plays almost like a comedy. Uh, Watch will lead us into our next movie, believe it or not, because I have a list here. I honestly gotta think this episode is setting up our next episode. So, which I'm looking forward to, and there's a lot that I want to say about this movie that I'm not, that's not really even like coming out right now. And I wanted to look up someone that was even in this movie, and I'm so unprepared for everything on this right now. Let me just go to IMDb real quick, and this movie has, where is she? Oh, Faye Grant from from V. I was so happy to see her in this because I know her from V. There's a scene in V where she's getting tortured and she's in this nude bodysuit, and like you kind of know she's supposed to be naked. They're torturing her naked. They can't do that on network television, so she's in this nude bodysuit, and nude colored. That's what I mean. Okay, and oh my god, like I just remember younger man, like that might have been like my first boner. Jeez, like So whenever I see her, I just get reminded of my first boner when I was watching B when I was younger. But yeah, but so this movie has everything that the Omen should have. They took these other elements from the other three and put them in this. We have a setup into the politics. We have an explanation for the politics. We have exposition for the politics and motivation for the politics. We have the death of the mother, the singling out of the father, the little girl, because now it's a girl this time, who's kind of like the seed of Damien. It's so weird. The little girl in this hooks in on the father, targets the mother. We have a decapitation. The decapitation scene is awesome for network television because a car goes into the back of a truck. Okay, very similar to the Omen movie. And if anyone that doesn't know, the original Omen '76 has one of the all-time decapitation scenes in Hollywood history. Everyone should watch it. And so this does it, and then like there was these bouncing balls around this car crash that decapitates this guy, and one of the balls has like a clown face on it, and it just rolls towards the camera. And it's so subtle, it's so awesome. But yeah, we have barking dogs, we have stairs, we have someone falling to their deaths, we have a stairway death. Again, from the Omen, we have a setup for politics, we have an isolation of the parents. We have evil stares by the young child, but this movie's on Amazon Prime, and you gotta watch it because I think it has all of them. It has 1 through 4. This is the only one I wanted to watch because I thought it would complement Jason X and set up our next movie, which I already saw, which is great because I might just record these back to back. And so we're getting these conventions created by Omen in an Omen movie. And it kind of works as a sequel reboot. Okay, so we're talking 91. This is a sequel reboot. So Hollywood's been trying to figure this Force Awakens formula out for a while. Okay, it's a highly successful sequel reboot. What kills it is a little bit of what killed Jason X. We're not connected to the characters. The characters aren't coming off. The characters really don't have much to do. Like how does that get fixed? I don't know. Like, you sit down, you sit down, you read a script, you rewrite the whole thing. I don't get it. Is it the performances, the deadline, the time you have to make the movie, the time you have to cut the movie? Were there better performances on the cutting room floor? I don't know. I'm not really. I can't guesstimate. I can't make those calls. But what I can say is that this movie is a great study on an early sequel reboot, and it's an understanding on what makes the original Omen and the two sequels up to the final conflict, the Omen 3, the final conflict, a notable trilogy because it just takes the elements of all three. And look, totally forgetting the second movie. To be honest, this could have elements of Omen 2 in it. I don't really know, but yeah, and it it just has like a flow of death that just makes no sense. And look, it's a made-for-TV movie, though. At the time, this is exactly what was expected from a made-for-TV movie. It's another historical stamp, even on that notion. Nowadays, everything made for all the talent, all the writing is in TV right now or in streaming. It's not even in TV. It's mostly in streaming. I don't even consider HBO TV. HBO streaming. Okay. Hulu, like, none of it. We were like, TV, man. No, it's streaming. Don't even call it television. Yeah, it's all there. But heck, man, like it's if you were to make a timeline of sequel reboots, this might be number one. This might be like the first one attempted. Which is very interesting. But I just thought that this movie has it has heart, and it has love for the Omen movies, because they try to give you everything you wanted from another Omen like update. If you never saw the Omen movies and you sat down and you watch Omen 4: The Awakening, they would give you these conventions and these ideas, and they're done a different way. And but hey, I could keep going on. Do I gush about? I think I do. Do I gush about bad movies too much? Maybe. I just rather be positive. I really, I don't know. I mean, it's so much horror happening, pun intended, in this world. Can we do a little bit of shiny happiness for the 31 days of dread? Day 14, The Omen, The Awakening. Signing off, people. And hey, thanks for hanging out with me.